We have an EMOM for the workout. You'll do each of the 5 movements 3 times before moving on to the next movement. And for each, it'll be 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. These movements should be all very familiar to you at this point. They include jump rope, mountain climbers, air squats, ground touch with shuffle hop, and crisscross jumping jacks. We have Fit Happy Hour athlete Tarah leading the workout today. And as always, if you need more information or a quick refresher on any of the movements, you can check out the demo videos before you get started. Okay, we're going to start with jump rope in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're going to be here for 40 seconds, followed by 20 seconds of rest. And we're going to do 3 rounds of jump rope before moving on to the next movement. Five seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. We're going to start back up in 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. Again, we have jump rope for 40 seconds. Nice job. Here we go, you got less than 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Next up we have jump rope again, and this is our 3rd and final time on the jump rope. Three, 2, 1, and go. Nice job, less than 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. We're going to start back up at the 12-minute mark, and we have mountain climbers next. Three, 2, 1, and go. You can play around with the pace here. We can go for that quick pace, or you can work on that range of motion with a little bit of a slower pace. But you want to make sure to keep those shoulders over the wrists and keep a neutral neck. Nice job, 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. That's our first out of 3 rounds of these mountain climbers. So we're going to start back up at the 11-minute mark. 3, 2, 1, and go. We have mountain climbers again for 40 seconds. Nice job, stay with it. If you need to rest for a second, go ahead and do so, and then get back after it when you can. Nice job, 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. We're gonna start back up at the 10-minute mark with our last round of mountain climbers. 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's work hard here. This is the last time you have to do these mountain climbers. We get to move on to the other movements. Here we go. Nice job. You have less than 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Next up, we have air squats. We're going to start back up at the 9-minute mark. Three, 2, 1, and go. We have air squats for 40 seconds. We want to hinge from the hips and really sit back, so the butt should be initiating the movement, not the knees. So just make sure the knees do not pass the toes, and we want to keep the shins as vertical as possible. You have 5 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. We have air squats again. That'll be our second of 3 rounds, and we're gonna start back up at the 8-minute mark. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Once you feel comfortable with this movement and with your mechanics, you can really pick up the pace and try to get as many reps as possible. Here we go, less than 10 seconds left here. Good, try to get a few more in. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Next up, we have our final round of air squats. We're gonna start back up at the 7-minute mark. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's push the pace here if possible. Here we go. Last round of air squats. Nice job, 5 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Next up, we have ground touch with shuffle hop. So we'll get a little bit more of a dynamic movement next. We're gonna start back up at the 6-minute mark. So get ready. Starting in 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. You can keep the arms relaxed and reach for outside of the foot, and when shuffle hopping, push off of the outside foot to transfer the movement towards the inside foot. Then you're going to squat down towards the ground, but only go as far as your body will let you. Nice job. We're really working those butt, hips, and legs. Nice work. 10 seconds left. Keep it up here. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and go. This is round number 2 out of 3 for the ground touch with shuffle hop. Really find your pace here. Here we go, you've got 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. We have one more round of that. We're gonna start back up at the 4-minute mark. Three, 2, 1, and go. This is round 3 out of 3. Here we go, you're almost there. You have less than 10 seconds left. And then we'll come up on our final movement and our last 3 minutes of work. And rest for 20 seconds. Next up, we have crisscross jumping jacks. We're gonna start at the 3-minute mark. Three, 2, 1, and go. You can start moving your feet first to get a rhythm going and then add in the arms. Think light feet and stay mostly on the balls of your feet with your heel lightly touching the ground. Nice job, you're halfway there. Here we go, last 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. Next up, you have crisscross jumping jacks again. That's gonna be round 2 out of 3. We're gonna start back up at the 2-minute mark in less than 10 seconds. You guys are doing great, just hang in there. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. This is our final 2 minutes of work. Let's really work hard and finish this workout strong. Here we go, 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and rest for 20 seconds. And just like that, we are coming up on our final minute of work. We're gonna start up at the 1-minute mark and we'll do 40 seconds of crisscross jumping jacks to finish off this workout. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Here we go, last 10 seconds. Let's finish up here. 3, 2, 1, and time. Great job. That was a ton of work to do in 15 minutes. It's time to cool down, stretch, and hydrate. See you next time.